So, hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to the concept of the session legal framework for electronic data interchange. The term EDI is everyone familiar with day-to-day life. Last 6 or 8 months, the term EDI is familiar with everyone. Before start with this session, just take a review of previous lecture. In previous lecture number 24, we introduced the concept global trends in cyber law. In last 30 decades, the use of internet are tremendously increasing. So various associations, various countries, various organizations form the policies which are useful to formulate the rules and regulations used to the internet. As the number of internet users increasing, there is a positive effects, there is also negative effect. The number of cyber crimes also increasing. So various agencies, organizations and countries form a legal framework to stop the cyber crime. For example, ITU, International Telecommunication Union, which forms and rules and regulations in the telecommunication sector, as well as trade related aspect intellectual property rights agreements, which gives the guidelines for industrial design, copyrights, all these things. So in this lecture, we are going to the legal framework when the data will be interchanged, electronic data interchange between two parties or two individual persons. So what type of legal framework should be done? So session outline, electronics data interchange definitions. Then we go to the electronics data internet communication block diagram. In electronics communication data interchange, we first the communication process, how the electronics data interchange will be take place. Then communication methods for the EDI. First one is a direct or point-to-point EDI. Second one is a EDI via network service provider. Also explain the benefits, limitations and applications of EDI in day-to-day life. Then legal framework structure for EDI. So let us start with the electronics data interchange. According to the National Institute of Standard, the technology, the definition of EDI, we can say that the computer to computer interchange of a strictly formatted message that represent document other than momentary instrument. That is the first definition which is given by the NIST. The second definition, EDI, means electronics data interchange, implies a sequence of message between the two parties, either via whom may serve as a originator or receptor. That is the second definition of electronic data interchange. In simply, is the exchange or business or data document in the electronic format between the trading partners. That is a simple definition also of EDI. Then we see the block diagram of electronics data interchange communication process. Here is the sending company, data in internal format, EDI translator, EDI data, the communication software, then direct to point communication software, then EDI goes to the data, then EDI translator and data into internal format. So there is a sending company, there is a receiving company. So this is an EDI communication process. How this communication process will be take place? Will be see. So how to EDI works? User place or order into computer. That order goes through the interface program like Amazon, Flipkart. These are the interfacing program, or your mobile applications like Freecharge, Flipkart, all these things, Beam. Then the application edits the order and release to intermediate EDI files. Purchase order is changed to EDI. The translation program functions with the several programs. It allows the receiver to system interrupt the orders. The network proceeded takes place order from EDI format. It is changed back to the sender in original format. It is allowed to receiver to read documents after successfully completion of the order. An acknowledgement copy is also generated in the form of electronic data via email, SMS, all these things, or acknowledgement copy which is generated through. So what are the communication methods for the EDI? There are two methods which will be explained. First one is a direct EDI, also called as point-to-point EDI, and second one, which is to be said, is EDI via network service provider. First we define the direct EDI or point-to-point EDI. Direct EDI, sometimes called point-to-point EDI, establish a single connection between two business partners. In this approach, you can connect with each business partner individually. It offers to control for the business partners, and it is most commonly used between the larger customer and supplier with lot of daily transaction. For example, Walmart. E-shoppings through Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal. That is also point-to-point EDI. There are an alternative option to direct EDI or point-to-point EDI is EDI network service provider, which prior to the internet was referred a value-added network. Many businesses preferred this network model to shield them ongoing complexities supporting varying communication protocols required to the different business partners. The best example is Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal. In one platform, you can communicate various service providers, mobile service provider, TV service provider, then your various companies in one platform. So that is called as a EDI network service provider. So what are the benefits of EDI? So in one column we define the benefits, and second column we define the reasons. First benefit, cost reduction. The cost reduction in terms of less paper handling, no mailing cost, less employee wages, high speed. Computer network enable the faster exchange of a document and information. Enhance the operation efficiency. What is the reason of enhanced operation efficiency? Less error, high speed and real time scenario. Value added or value partnership. Timely and accurate information will be supplied to the customer. Trading partner develop the trust while doing business in a systematic way together. Accuracy. How the accuracy will be improved? A direct communication between the customer and service provider or business partners. No reception in a data. Correct in time information exchange. Then visibility. Real time information will be provided. in terms of cost, time delivery, and product quality and warranty period also. The measure the performance any stage and trading partners activity and visibility. So these are the benefits of EDI. In terms of their reason also will be provided. There are some more benefits including of EDI. Reduce the cycle time, better inventory management, increase the productivity, reduce the cost, improve the accuracy, improve the business relationship, enhance the customer service, increase the sales and minimize the paper use and storage, and increase the cash flow. So most popular example in day-to-day life up to in upcoming seasons, a festival in Diwali. So most of the people in pandemic situation corona, most of the people are use the EDI through Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal or any another e-commerce platform to protect themselves and stay home by using EDI. So what are the limitations of EDI? First one is the dependency on trading partners, high integration cost, changing standards, changing the trades or business operations, also increase the hardware and internet expenses. So these are the limitations of EDI. So where the EDI will be applicable? In automotive, distributions, energy, government, groceries, hardline retailer, healthcare, home furnishes, home improvements, industrials, office suppliers, pharmacy, publication, softline retailer, specialty, sporting goods, third party logistic, transportation. So in day-to-day life we are familiar with the EDI and mostly EDI are support to the e-commerce. So thanks to EDI and e-commerce which helpful to very luxurious life will be provided through the EDI. Then when the number of EDI concept will be increasing, there is some legal and framework for the EDI should be done. For that purpose, the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law, that is UNCITRAL, is proposed the method in terms of model law on EDI in 1996. The model law was adopted and assist to the countries in the framing of legislation to the enable and facilitate the e-commerce. So when the e-commerce business is observed, today 6 to 8 month record will be highest. So there is some legal frameworks which support the e-commerce in terms of EDI. So first, establish the rules and norms that validate and recognize the contract and format it through the electronics means. Second, set the rules for formatting the contracts, governing the electronics contracts and performance. Third, define the characteristics of validated electronics writing and of an original documents. Fourth, provide for the acceptability of electronic signature for legal and commercial purpose. Fifth, support the admission of a computer evidence in a court and arbitration proceedings. So these are the legal frameworks provided by UNCITRAL. So in this lecture we are going to the concept EDI, basic definition of EDI, EDI communication process, types of EDI, benefits of the EDI and more benefits of EDI, and how to EDI is very helpful for the e-commerce, and also see the limitations of EDI and legal frameworks for the EDI also will be seen in terms of 5, which is formed by the UN Citral in terms of model law in 1960. It provides the guidelines of various countries in 5 terms. So in this lecture we can stop here. Thank you.